Hello, Rebecca. Hello, audience. Welcome to the Energy Report.
Hello, Natalie. And this is a surprise for everybody, but it's our 1-year anniversary.
Yay! Oh my
God. You might have been listening to us for a whole year already. So
that's crazy.
We're best friends now.
BFFs forever.
Well, I think that's one of the things that has been so nice for me is just getting to know you so much, Natalie, and spending so much time with you.
Aww.
Now we're doing them weekly. It's really fun to kind of get to see you and I don't know, form such nice friendships.
I feel it. I love it.
We've never even met in person.
I know.
Yet.
I can't wait.
But we get to talk on the phone and we get to see each other all the time. And I'll be seeing her in a couple of months. So it's nice.
Come lounge by my new palatial poolside and hot tub.
Shh, don't tell anybody.
I want to have a party.
Everyone's going to come.
I want everyone to come. But okay, so what week is this for? Also, happy anniversary. Thank you, dear. So grateful for this. And it's been really fun to just let it flow and see what happens. Yeah,
we just got written up by Bust Magazine, which was such a gift for our anniversary. Magazine. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing.
Really fun.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, nice engine roaring outside. It's hot as balls still. It's very hot. And, Natalie and I record this a few days in advance, 4 days in advance of when it launches out. So today is the day when Mars has gone direct. And I fucking felt it this morning. I was like, ah! All of a sudden I felt like something just hit the gas. And I was like, holy cannoli, all these things that I've been working on are actually being today, something that I've been working on, getting wheels for myself for the last fucking 4 months, actually materialized.
That is so awesome.
Yeah. So that is actually literal action is absolutely
rolling
happening
into
now.
Action here. Queen style.
Rolling into action. Now I'm like, whoa, slow down. Slow the fuck down.
What happened to all that nice slowness?
I'm like, am I ready for all of this?
Doesn't matter. You gotta go.
I know. Also, I'm so fiery. I have a lot of fiery energy. So I'm like, whoa, this should be feeling cohesive. But all of a sudden, I've been enjoying that slowed down pace. I think too much. So I don't know. It's looking like it's gonna be September is gonna be. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping it'll be a much more kind of lighter vibe. I mean, we have a lot of gifts this month,
animated gifts.
We're going to talk about gifts. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of gifts and memes.
Gifts and memes, but really gifts presents, bow tied presents. Cool.
A meme can be a present.
I know. I love a meme. I love a good meme. So what are the dates that we are doing this energy report for this week?
Yeah, this is Monday, September 3rd to Sunday, 9/9. What a power portal number that is. So 9s are interesting numbers. They are about the end of a chapter, completion, endings, but also new beginnings. It's where things have come full circle. And I definitely think we're going to be feeling that because, we just had Mars after 2 months or more than that of being retrograde, went direct. And it only does that. Mars only retrogrades about every 2 years. So it's not that common with the Mars, not as common as Mercury retrograde, which is 3 times a year about. And then this month we've got Pluto and Saturn that are going to go direct. Wow. So this week, Saturn's going to go direct, and Saturn is in its home sign of Capricorn. Yay. So a lot of those things that we were feeling around God, the work stuff and the money stuff is just not really materializing because we've been all internal. I feel like we're going to see some of that stuff shifting. Monday 9/3 to Sunday 9/9. the weekly theme this week I pulled from my Reiki affirmation deck. There's my glittery nails. I have. That's right. And comes in a little pretty bag like dish.
Beautiful.
And the one I pulled today is this art. It's got some purple, some red, some blue.
I feel like...
What do you feel like when you see this?
So I'm a scientist and I study microbes, and I'm just like, they look like microbes.
Well, we have a new moon in Virgo this week, so it will be about like germs and shit. No, Virgo is very much like like germaphobe sometimes can be manifested. So can you read that the right way around, or is it backwards?
I can ask for help and I allow myself to receive support. I can.
Yeah, that's the affirmation today. So
I just want to say I am asking for help from my guides all the time, even for the stupidest stuff. I'm like, just help me.
You got to.
You know?
You got to ask and give permission. Like we have to tell them what our will is, that we want to move forward with. It doesn't mean that everything's going to come in immediately, or that we're not talking to our guides if we don't see the timing lining up. And not everything is necessarily coming from our feeling worthy. Some of it may be coming from our wounds and our egoic self, some of our requests, but we should just be asking anyway. Keep asking for what you need. So the weekly theme, I can ask for help and I allow myself to receive support. This could also be a literal person that you want to have help from. If you have a job and you're feeling overloaded at work, you can ask maybe there's a conversation to have with your manager. Maybe there's something in your family that needs to be communicated about asking for support or delegating, or ask a practitioner for support if you need support around your health and wellness goals. So the weekly ritual that I did pick for this week, though, does have to do with kind of asking the divine for support. It's about meditating on desires. So we've done that in the past, but there's never a bad time to kind of like meditate and write intentions, especially because we have a new moon in Virgo this week. And new moons are always time to plant new seeds and what do I want to grow, set intentions. So I also, as a ritual, maybe a fun thing for people to do is to create an intention candle. So what you can do is you can get like a large candle and you can carve in the side, which is going to take time and patience, and your intention might be a mess.
Well,
you can carve on around it like words or whatever it is, symbols. Or literally carve it all out. It's like the things that you want to ask for, and then during your meditation you can light that candle, and the intention is that each time you light that candle, you're giving it up to spirit. You're giving those intentions back. You're surrendering them for divine timing and for the highest and best possible result for you. So that's the ritual. This week's tarot is we're moving out of the cups. So we had the 5 of Cups last week. This week is the Page of Swords. So this means that we probably have come to some new understanding intellectually and mentally of where we're at. Page of Swords is really about facing the facts and using logic and intellect to work through any perception and communication barriers. This, I think that with this card, it really is about honesty is the best policy, and being honest about, where you're at and what's going on with you. This energy helps us to face problems directly, to maybe right a wrong. Maybe there's something that you can use that communication. Swords always represent communication and the intellect and the mind. Is there somewhere where you can accept responsibility, or maybe you're starting to kind of see more than just your point of view? It's hard to see all the points of view and not just like our focus. But it's divine to work toward that. So we're kind of trying to embrace difficulty with a grateful heart. literally what nobody wants to do. Nobody wants to do that.
Or be
It's
honest
like,
with yourself about that. Even being honest with yourself about what's difficult sometimes can be hard, especially if you
yeah.
are a like empowered woman or something who's like, I could do it, and you're like, you kind of just face the facts.
Yeah, well, this card really is about self-deception too,
Mm,
and from what I've figured out, I think there always is a little grain of self-deception going on. I think
yeah,
you have to really work for that divine perception out of everything because we're always coming up against our wounding, and no matter how fucking evolved we think we are, how much work we've done, we still come up against these unconscious beliefs that we have, these unconscious judgments. So,
yeah,
this is about cutting through that sometimes and seeing, oh, this is the higher perspective of this experience that I've been trying to figure out. Growth is always hard. This is a card about growth.
Wait, is it always hard though?
Uh, yeah, I think it is. Even when you're growing pains are
It can
just
be
like,
challenging, yeah.
I think it doesn't have to be like,
I mean, it doesn't have to be a
painstaking.
struggle. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But like even when you think of like when you're a little kid and you do have growing pains, even though it's
Like
awesome, you're
literal
getting
in your
bigger.
body. Yeah.
Yeah, your body kind of
Hmm.
aches and hurts, or like if you think about when you're growing in teeth or something and
Yeah.
like it's going to be awesome. You need those teeth to feed yourself, but it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, there's a process to it. And I think growth is, um, you're expanding,
Yeah.
you're getting bigger, you're breaking through barriers, and it's not, I wouldn't say it is just always this happy-go-lucky thing. I
Oh
think it
yeah,
is
definitely
both.
not.
It's
Hmm.
like both.
Hmm.
It's like awesome and exciting
Hmm.
and fuck yeah, and then it's like, ooh, am I ready for this? Is this too
Right.
much too soon? Like, will I be able to cope with it all? I think that we're balancing
You are
all of
speaking my
that.
thoughts of like when I'm expanding and it's all those old things coming up that again that are like, or maybe even some new old things and new clothing coming up with new faces or new whatever to be like the fears, and just that I think is the most part for me. The most
Yeah.
challenging part of growth is having to face those insecurities and doubts and fears again, which I think that is the hard part because you're like, are
Yeah.
they these again? And I feel sometimes like, oh wow, I should be past this by now, but realizing, oh, this might be a lifelong thing that is just something that's going to come up
Yeah.
again and again. I feel like that is the piece within the struggle there. So
Yeah.
yeah.
We don't like change as humans. We
No,
like
we
it,
think
but
we
we're
want
also
it.
scared by it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's scary. And
Yeah.
that's where we were talking about recently, the critical thoughts and like nurturing those like thoughts. We're never gonna just be like, it's not a failure to have fear. Fear is an amazing motivator.
Yeah.
You're not like failing if you are like, oh, I have the same fear again. Who fucking cares? Yeah, you have the same fear again. Nurture it, love it. It's like it's fine. It's not a big deal. It just means like, okay, I need more nurturing. I need more kindness. Like, I think we're holding ourselves to this impossible standard. And I don't know where it came from. I don't know who
Yeah.
perpetuated this standard of being healed and just like, fully embodied as your divine self in human life. I mean, why the fuck are we here if we're just here to be like not human beings? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
very confusing to me. Of course, we're going to have difficulties. Like, at some point, we're all going to die. I'm going to die. You're going to die. Our bodies are going to they're going to stop rejuvenating themselves. The cells are going to die, right? No matter what we do, we're not going to live these immortal human lives. So, like, already we have a struggle ahead of us. Okay? It's certain.
Yes. You're reminding
It's
me of
certain.
the episode where I was like, you're all gonna
Oh my
die.
God. Oh my
Like,
God.
don't get me
That one
started.
was so funny. That was so funny.
But it's so
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
So it's like, of course we're human beings. Of course we're awkward and we're uncomfortable and we're unhappy sometimes. And
Yeah.
we're here integrating all that beautiful, juicy knowledge
Yeah.
for the divine. That is our thing that we're doing here as human beings, is processing all that juicy, difficult, strengthening, courageous energy and transmitting it into the consciousness. And that's a great job to have. This is like, it sucks sometimes. It's hard to be a human being, but pat yourself on the back because you incarnated at this time and you're doing such a good job. And, you know, like, we got to get rid of this whole like perfection of like, if I'm not like happy all the time and receiving pleasure all the time, that I'm not in my purpose. I'm not doing a good job. You know, I think like most people that are feeling pleasure all the time probably aren't connected to their purpose, because if you're feeling just pleasure all the time, you're probably avoiding reality. You know,
I feel like you just rip the rug right out from someone.
Yeah, you can't bliss life away. You just can't. Bliss is something that encourages us and supports us and nurtures us, and bliss, I'm sure, is something that when we become energies again and we are not attached to a human body, we'll feel infinite bliss. I'm not ready for that infinite bliss yet.
Give me some more bills. No, just kidding. Yeah. Cancel that.
Oh, Lord. No, thank you.
Give me the bills, but give me the money to pay them, too.
Yeah. I'll take that.
Oh, my God. Well, yeah, thanks for going on that tangent with me, because I feel like it's important to, you know, just remind people of the paradox that exists within every experience of the growth is exciting, but it's also, you know, just because someone, like we said, just because someone's fears and stuff is coming up doesn't mean they're doing it wrong. You know, that paradox is the experience. So, yeah.
If you're uncomfortable, you're probably doing it right.
Probably growing.
Mm-hmm. You're probably healing some shit and growing and figuring it out.
And you know what? You can reach out and ask for help and allow yourself to receive support. Do your little
That's right.
Attention candle and rock and roll.
That's right. Exactly. There was one other thing I wanted to say. Oh, yeah. You know, I always say, like, I think because we've become quite a visual society now, because of technology, we've become very visual. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that has really warped reality.
Oh, yeah.
You know, of like a perfected image. And I always think of like how wellness is presented, and it looks like a tampon commercial where everybody's like, I got my period and I'm running through the field. And like, it's like, the fuck? Nobody's running through the field on their fucking period. They're fucking home.
Especially those free bleeders.
Rarely. But rarely. Why is it even presented to us like that? You know, like
marketing. Oh my God.
If you're on your period, you should be running through fields. It's
right.
Like, okay. What if I'm not, though? Does that mean I'm failing and something's wrong with me, that I'm not able to fucking feel super joyful the first day of my fucking period? It's like, you know, it's like, it's false. It's like, not real. And healing is often represented the same way.
Yeah.
As like, all of your dreams will come true. And they can,
yeah.
But it looks a bit more rocky than that, you know, and it looks a lot more like breaking down and breaking through, and that's okay. You know, it's okay for you to be really joyful in your growth too.
And to get I'm not saying that's amazing abundance.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that's not a part of it at all, because it is. I'm just saying, like, if you find that sometimes you look like that meme where the lady's like, more often, you know the one I'm talking about, the old meme where the lady is like
maybe
crying.
You can send it to me and I can put it in the video.
Yeah, it's this is it. It's literally what it was.
Make a note.
That's more what it is, and that's okay. All I'm saying is, if that's how you feel, you're not missing the mark. If you fucking feel the strain of your growth and your struggle, it's like, it's not easy. And you know, we talk a lot about like what you resist persists, and acceptance and surrender are really how you let go, is that you accept what you're going through. And so, you know, we're always working with these judgments of like, I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't feel this way. And like,
Or I
it's
shouldn't
okay.
want this, or I shouldn't have that.
Yeah,
Shouldn't
exactly.
be
And
this. Da 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 da.
yeah. And right now, like, I think also with the Page of Swords, maybe that's what that energy is about too, is like, where do I need to like just, let go of that old agenda of like, I'm bad and I'm in a bad place, holding ourselves to these impossible ideals too. And Neptune has been retrograding
Oh
for a
yeah.
while. And I really feel that energy of like that self-deception that's being the illusion of what life should look like. And then when it doesn't look like that, feeling like we failed, or we're not doing something right. So I think one of the other positive energies for this card, I don't know if I mentioned it, was this card is about keep your chin up, keep trying, not accepting like defeat in that way of like, oh, I should just give up. It's like keep looking for a perspective that feels right for you, that feels more intuitive and comfortable. So yeah, I think the difference sometimes between an emotional reaction and an intuition is like, when you feel something intuitively, it doesn't mean that the thing that is uncomfortable went away. It just means that you're like, it's okay. Everything's okay. You feel a sense of all is well. But it doesn't make it so that you don't have any issues or any kind of hardships. It just, your reaction is different because you're like, you shift that perspective into that divine perspective.
And I feel like we're on a huge tangent here, but I feel like we go on these tangents for a reason.
When are we not on a huge tangent?
I think our life is one huge tangent.
Yeah.
But that also, I totally forgot what I was going to say. All right. No, I totally forgot. No idea.
Well, if you remember.
What were we talking? I'm like, wow. I just feel like I skipped a timeline or something. I'm like, what were
we were talking about intuition and emotional reaction, how intuition feels like all is well. That was
right.
like
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So I know from my background, from just having a really turbulent, weird, and also, there are beautiful, loving parts of my childhood, but having like traumas and turbulence and weird stuff, it took me so much work and healing and support from mentors and teachers and elders and experience and failing and trying and failing and trying and just keeping at it, like you're saying, to even get to be able to even allow myself to experience that feeling of all is well. Like that is not something I have had. I've had to claim it, reclaim it for myself as an adult, because I don't even remember feeling it as a kid ever.
Yeah.
So people who are feeling that, who are like, oh, what do you mean? Like that's something you may have to reclaim and retrain for yourself. And it's there, but there's just stuff in the way that's kind of, blocking that connection for you. So
absolutely. That was coming up for me big time last week too, because when I was growing up, I was very, very spiritual, and I would have Bible studies with people because I had an affinity for spirit, but it was being directed in a religious manner because that's the environment that I was in. And like the shaming that I went through when I decided that wasn't the right dogma for me or religious belief system for me. And how my father would be like, you make it hard for God to love you. I realized how much that made me not trust in spirit.
Yeah.
Because it was weaponized against me. Yeah. And I think that as a society, we have subtly all received that kind of conditioning, this weaponizing of spirit,
of like, love too.
And of love.
Yeah.
Of like, you can't trust spirit because you never know. You better be on your guard because like Satan's around the corner, or if you do this, you're not a good person. If you're gay, you're not a good person. If you have sex before marriage, you're not, like, all of these subtle themes. If you don't go to church, you're not a good person. I think our spirituality has been weaponized, and it has made us, on one hand, we've been like, you know what? Fuck spirituality. Like, fuck that shit.
I did. That's how I was as a kid and a teenager too. It's the same kind of thing.
And feeling just like it's not trustworthy. And that goes back down to our ancestral lines too, where throughout time, women have been called untrustworthy and healers were called untrustworthy. And our religious heads, the head of the church, even up to just a few hundred years ago, they perpetuated the idea that women don't have souls, that we're not trustworthy, and thus the intuition, the divine feminine, which everybody has, but obviously that has, throughout the years, like we've seen it more with females, throughout time, or the oppression of females. It really does have to do with like this underlying mistrust of spirit, of where in order to be a controlled people, there has been like such a campaign that you can't trust spirit, so it's not even just that these things that have happened in our lifetimes, right? There's like eons and eons of like mistrust against the divine feminine in everybody, being, the healing energy, creation, being, receiving. And so it's a big job that we're kind of working our way through. So it is fucking hard to trust in spirit. It goes against the grain of what we've been taught. It goes against our teaching, and we have to, we're unlearning that. And so it's scary. It's scary to trust in spirit unconditionally, but this is worth it. And how do you do it? You just fucking, every time you feel that, like, I don't know if I can trust, you just have to fucking talk yourself out of that. You know what I mean? It's like, we don't have any other options.
Mm-hmm.
It's our main option here, is to continue to trust. And I found that, like, the more that I've trusted, the more that things synchronistically align, things come into my life that I need. I always have enough. So it does pay off too. You do see these real life miracles happening in your life.
Straight up, how I'm apartment shopping, I landed on Saturday, one Saturday, and then a week after that on a Saturday, we got our place. And I did all the like logical work and Still very nonlinear. My husband would have had a totally different way if he was in charge, because he's so linear. It was still very nonlinear, and it was like doing all the work, setting the intentions, facing the fear. I had the experience of being like, wow, I don't know if I can really trust that we're gonna get a place that feels like home. Am I going to live in a place that feels like aligned and safe, like a sanctuary? And I was starting to just give up. It's like, okay, well, you know what? I'm just going to trust that wherever we land is going to be the place that's going to give us what we need in this moment. And then the fucking synchronous miracle happened. And we got a place I didn't even know we could get. It's like on the top floor, southern exposure, courtyard view, beautiful, new, but just like checked all the boxes. It's like, wow.
Yep.
That's the journey.
But I did dumb tell you.
But that's the journey. Is like those, and there's the intensity through it, and just having been through that intense experience of finding a place to live and having to face that face to face. Like it's real, and it comes up even for people. I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty damn spiritual by this. Pretty damn spiritual.
Yeah.
At this point, and trusting, but even then, it's like that like questioning, and then having to choose. Yeah. I'm gonna trust that what we connect with, if I keep doing the work and taking action that feels aligned, that it's going to line up, and we're going to be exactly where we need to be, and that's the journey.
Yeah, exactly. And I do think there's always that moment in manifestation where you go, is this really going to happen?
Right.
And then you got to pull yourself up and go, it's going it better fucking happen.
Right.
You know?
Or you're
It's
like, you know what? If what I think I want isn't meant to be, then I'm just going to accept that too.
yes.
That's a
And the
part of it
right
too.
thing will come to me,
Yeah.
like, you know, the thing that fits.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, this has been a great introduction to this week's
A 30-minute
report.
introduction.
We got the gift of gab over here. That's what we like to do.
No, I think we could have like a live TV show and just talk all day.
I want to.
Okay, let's do it.
I do get kind of tired of talking after a while, though.
We'll just talk for like an hour and a half.
Like Mondays are my big day because I have my private students, my private mentorship students on Mondays, and then we also record this podcast. Mm-hmm. So by the end of the day, I'm like,
we need to come out here and soak. We need to do our thing, and then soak in the hot tub, together. And then go in the mountains and check out some redwoods because that's what's up.
We should do a day in the life energy report with Natalie and Rebecca.
Some days are very, and then some days are like, oh. So one of each. Yeah. One of each.
Yeah.
Because we need to show all sides. Okay, let's get on to the actual stars. The stars.
So this comes out on Friday, and it'll be the Friday, the weekend of Labor Day, right? Okay, so yeah. Monday, the day that this energy report starts is Monday, the 3rd of September, which is Labor Day.
In the States here, yes.
And I just, I always think that, it's great to have like these holidays and have a day off, but also, at the beginning of the week to get real drunk or whatever, you might be kicking your ass for the rest of the week. So try to pace yourself at any kind of parties and stuff like that.
Mocktails, people, mocktails.
Yeah. Whatever, whatever just like, want. Just sort of like, we've got a big week ahead of us. So, yeah. It's a big, exciting, lovely week. I'm really excited about the shifts that are happening with the planets this week. But yeah, you just make sure that even if you're having a day off, like take advantage of that day off of like, really nurturing and taking care of yourself and
do something fun.
Not just like disappearing into like oblivion.
There you go.
The first major shift is on Wednesday, the 5th, and Mercury is going to go into Virgo. So it's finally leaving Leo. And we just went through that entire retrograde, forward, backward, back through Leo. I loved it. I hated it. My Mercury is in Leo. I had all the feels about it. And
I think I moved on the day it stationed direct, and it was just nuts.
Yeah, and it officially leaves the shadow of Mercury retrograde on September 2nd. So, Mercury is our communication, our perception. So we've been kind of like thinking about our creativity, ourselves, like our self-expression, courage, open-heartedness with Leo. And now Mercury is going to go into Virgo. And Mercury is one of the co-rulers of Virgo, so it's a cohesive energy. Virgo excels at analyzing and organizing, which is probably why Natalie and I have both been feeling about getting more organized, budgeting, stuff like that, because, with this lavish Leo energy, I don't know that we've really been focused on those details. So these details, we're going to be kind of like, okay, let me like get out my little ledger and kind of like what is to do, and it'll be about kind of bringing everything from being so big and loud and courageous and wonderful into like, okay, what's the baby steps for me now to moving forward, like let me regroup. We putting self-love first and foremost was really on the agenda with Leo, and having to kind of break down any blocks to that. And so as the energy shifts from Leo to Virgo, sometimes we feel those themes more powerfully. So on the 4th, we're going to feel that Leo energy quite powerful of this Mercury retrograde. Maybe somebody will pop up, or you'll finally figure something out that you've been kind of going over.
On the 4th or the 5th?
That's on the 4th.
Okay.
Because we'll still be in Leo. Okay. So we'll feel the Leo more intensely right before we shift. And then we'll feel the Virgo very intensely on the 5th. This has been a full-on fucking summer. I have felt raw raw inside. I felt like someone just like, you know, like chicken paillard, they just beat the shit out of my raw flesh
Oh my
for the
god.
whole
I
summer.
think you need a spa day.
I do. I need a fucking vacation. And it's coming. It is coming. I'm actually excited to go on vacation in October and do the energy reports from vacation because I think
Yes.
that'll be really fun.
I want to do one hot tub sad from the hot
Yeah,
tub.
that's right. With our mocktails nearby.
Yes. Awesome.
Okay, so all of this like emotional information that's been pouring out of us, you know, all of this awareness where we've been bringing it from, or all of this processing where we've been bringing stuff from our awareness. We've all been aware of our issues and we've been actually bringing it into form and feeling through it. Big, powerful work. We've been kind of bringing it back into the body, into form. So I think like, you know, with this placement, it's just going to be about sorting through everything. I think we'll just be really sorting through this last year. And the best way to utilize Virgo energy ever is to drop the shaming, judging, criticizing, and increase like getting grounded, making lists, you know, utilizing
plans.
that kind of, yeah, being more practical, you know, some of the positive traits of Virgo are that meticulous side, analyzing, being observant, helpful, precise. So these are all things that are going to be very powerful shifts this week. We're going to really feel it because we also have a new moon at the end of the week in Virgo. So very Virgo week going on.
Happy birthday, Virgos, too.
Happy birthday, Virgos. Yeah. And this is wonderful because the day after Mercury goes into Virgo, Thursday, 9/6, Saturn in Capricorn is going to station direct. So it's been retrograding and it's going to go forward. Saturn is our maturity, our work, our restriction. You know, it is at home in Capricorn. Capricorn builds the spiritual into reality and it's very work, ambition, material world focused. So if there have been things you weren't sure about, you knew that you wanted to change jobs, but nothing was really materializing, this will be a time when stuff starts to move again, especially because Mars went direct as well. So September, I like you already with this energy. Of course, again, the days before and after a shift are more amplified. So take care of yourself. You know, what are we building? That's what Saturn in Capricorn is all about. What are we building? All of the emotional traversing and breakthrough that I've had this summer has helped me to build a foundation of unconditional love into reality. So that can be something you're building. You can be building all kinds of stuff. You know, for me, that looks like my business and the tools that I offer to the collective. But you can build anything in reality that honors your spirituality. It doesn't have to just be a wellness practice, you know. And ultimately, I don't think it should be. I think it should be unique to each person. If you feel called to service, you can serve in any way. You can serve in any way. You don't have to be, you might have enjoyed energy healing or astrology, and that might be a tool that you enjoy. It doesn't have to be the way that you serve society, you know, or serve others or serve your spirituality. It could be, but it also doesn't have to be. Whatever your true things that you really enjoy doing that like are creative and fun for you, manifesting that in a spiritual way is also kind of like, you know, going to be the most fulfilling to all of us. Because I'll tell you, if you don't have those creative fulfillments, like for me, I love what I do. I love helping people, but at the end of the day, it is work, you know, it's work. And I have my other avenues that are my creativity, that are the things that I'm also passionate about, that have nothing to do with serving others, that serve my fucking self. You know what I'm saying?
Serve yourself.
And like,
hey, reminds me of the self-service podcast. It was shouted out on Bust as well. So there we go.
Yeah,
People
exactly.
get more of that vibe there too.
Yeah. So it's just like, you know, what with this Saturn in Capricorn, like how you manifest your service and your spiritual reality doesn't have to look like how anybody else has ever done it. If you like, I don't know, if you like looming rugs and you want rugs that like people can pray on, I don't know, or
That's
just
cool.
that like have themes of like, spiritual themes, or the intention behind them is conscious awareness and sustainability. There is everything in our life needs to be brought into awareness and consciousness. So it doesn't have to just be that you become a practitioner. You can literally do anything. You can be a graphic designer who's a spiritual graphic designer, and that's like more of the method to how you do anything.
How much I would love for there to be more people who understand marketing and spirituality. I need that. Like, I need that service. Like, help.
I actually have a couple of clients who do work, because I used to work in advertising because I was a production designer for 12 years. And part of the reason why I stopped doing that was because I just wasn't passionate about it anymore, about like designing. I love design, but it wasn't that interesting. And also because like you don't want to, I'd be getting like I got good jobs, but they'd offer me like what's that burger, White Castle and stuff like that. And I was like, not that I have anything against anybody going and eating at White Castle, because I don't. But for me, it was more like, at this point in my growth, am I really going to promote this to a lot of people that might not have access to, to nutrition and stuff like that? It's different. Right. I don't know. So it just
didn't align with your values.
It didn't align with my values. And that's not to say that like anybody else has to feel the same way, but and I think I think that, and now I have some clients who they work at creative agencies, and I'm so fucking excited. I'm so excited that we've gotten to a point where people at creative agencies that are selling people products are waking themselves up, because they are starting to go, I don't know, you shouldn't be using this wording. You shouldn't be doing this kind of thing to like manipulate the public and deceiving people. So I'm really, I love that. And in that, everything needs more of that, everything in our world. So if you work for a bank, that can be imbued with your spirituality. Anything can be.
I worked at like a Mexican restaurant as a waitress or server, and I still brought my spirit to it and just tried, it's like you can do anything. You be a garbage man or woman.
Yes,
just
you can.
Lessen the garbage of the world,
Yeah. Yeah. And bringing more like, oh, how do we do this?
Right.
And how do we do this in our job? And how can we maybe grow that in a more conscious way? So, any job that you have, there's important access points to spirituality through anything.
Doesn't have to look like Reiki. The Reiki.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And when I first got certified in like the different tools that I'm certified in, I actually I was never going to use it for other people. I just did it because I wanted to do it for myself, because I knew I needed it. But I was coming from a place of like nearly die. I was like, you fucking just do whatever you can to like
you needed to heal
keep yourself in a good place. And then it naturally became that the more solid I felt in that practice, that it became a natural extension of that. And now, I'm moving even into more of my artistic self, so not that I'm not doing my one-on-one sessions and stuff, but it's not like the end of the road either. Right. It's just like,
always evolving.
Exactly. Yeah. Totally. And, so Saturn in Capricorn, maybe you've been ruminating on a bunch of ideas like, I want to do this, or I would just love to do this. This is about you, again, going back to, I can ask for help and allow myself to receive support, setting those intentions, telling spirit, like, I have no fucking idea how my rug company is going to manifest. Where would I even start? But at least giving permission to yourself and to spirit of like, if that's meant for me and that's the right avenue for me, then I give you permission to bring it in for me and set it all up and help me. And maybe there's like a few things I'll do. Maybe I'll continue to work on my creativity and making those rugs, whatever it is, you know. Why am I so obsessed with rugs today?
I don't know. I was
don't know.
going to ask
It's like
where
I'm
that
looking
came
at a rug.
from.
It's maybe because I'm looking at my rug because I'm sitting on the other side of the room than I normally do. I'm obsessed. I'm fucking
Spirit
obsessed
rugs.
today.
Mm-hmm. Magic carpets. Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? I don't know. So yeah, that's gonna be exciting. I'm excited for the Saturn going direct. You know, we are whittling away at these fucking retrogrades. We went from 7 at one point this summer, and now we're whittling it down to just 3. And then 1 will be going direct at the end of the month too, and then we'll just have the 2. So
cool.
Whatever. I'll take whatever we can get. All right. So Sunday, 9/9. Right. 9/9 endings, letting go, release, new beginnings, right? End of the story, end of the chapter. New moons are new emotional beginnings. So on a new moon in Virgo, we can be getting really practical, really diligent, really organized. Like, what are we beginning? You know, what do we want to begin in our lives? What do we want to call in? It's just setting those intentions. And the moon, our feminine, feeling, nurturing, creative energy, new when we plant seeds. You know, what's new for us in terms of how we're activating our being, feeling, receiving, creating energy? You know, perhaps the new in this new moon is about more structure and balance for yourself. Pepper.
She's like, Peppers. Let me tell you about my new moon.
Pepper.
It's not that loud.
Okay. She's in the closet and she's just barking. Oops. She's in the closet and she's just barking at the wall in the closet. I think because she's like so old now.
Senile.
She's a bit senile. Poor baby. Yeah. So perhaps this new moon is about more structure and balancing around creating that time, organizing that time for you to create and feel and be and receive, you know, and maybe that's the intention you have is like, okay, well, I'm always scheduling what I'm going to do. And am I scheduling how I'm just going to be and do nothing too?
Schedule in that nothing time. It's so important. And if you never seem to get it, or it's last on your list, move it up to the first, make a block, commit.
That's right. Schedule that non-doing. Yes. You know, there are days in the week when I don't work. I do not work. And like if I feel like I've got a lot on my plate, I'll just block out days. And I'm freelance. So it does mean having to trust and go, you know what? I know I need this time off. So it is a little scary to say no to work that might pop up, but also being like, it'll fucking all come together. And the more I can be in a restful, peaceful place, balanced place, the more likely it is for everything to come together. Other intentions that you could set around this time is, you know, Virgo, we've been talking about it a lot the last couple of weeks, where Virgo is all about earthy, practical matters. So just setting intentions around that. It's also about our health and hygiene and, you know, wellness. It's about our wounds. So setting into any intentions that you have for like the practical manifestation of how you're going to support those themes. You know, getting organized. Yeah. So.
And, you know, I see that getting organized energetically, it really helps just remove the friction and resistance from that process of manifesting what you want as well, and it helps you take action, of course, but, you know, that friction and resistance can really clog the lines, it feels like. So getting organized, you know, it clears the skies, clears the tubes.
I know it does for me. It's like right now, like I have a shitload of stuff on my plate and I just need to like sit and write some lists so that I'm like, I have a plan of action. So it's not just like all of this shit that I'm thinking about. It's like, I'm bringing it down to the earth. I'm bringing it into the body. Okay. What do I actually need to do and when? And, it can be very, very helpful. And, that's why this Virgo energy is incredibly helpful to everything that we're experiencing right now. Just getting, yeah, just organizing all of this information, even, putting it all into perspective, putting into perspective all of the shit that we've been through, So it is, yeah, this is a big week. Again, try to start off the week in a gentle manner because there are quite a few shifts, and a Monday holiday is kind of hard. Is like sometimes kind of hard. I feel like,
Really? I'm like, I'll take any holiday I can get.
Yeah,
like, give me.
Yeah.
Even my life is like a holiday sometimes, but maybe not for long. We'll see.
Yeah. So I wanted to say again that I have these my mantra deck and my Reiki affirmation decks for sale on my website.
I just want to say, Rebecca, I'm going to interrupt you here. Interrupting Cal here.
That's me though too. I'm like that.
I just had a moment the other day. I think I was chilling in the hot tub, honestly. I love this hot tub.
This fucking hot tub.
God, where has it been all my life? Can you see how big I'm smiling? It's the hot tub. I just like, wow, I have not taken the time to just say, holy, wow, amazing, Rebecca. I can't believe you just like popped these cards out of nowhere. It seems like, I know you've been working on them, but what?
I'm like, I was working on them.
Yeah. I know, but that's just, it's so exciting and so
it is.
Just congratulations. And also just like, I don't know. I don't even know what to say, but then it's just so, yes, just like, yeah. I don't even know what to say.
It's especially exciting for me because it does meld like the two things that I really enjoy, which is my creative process, my painting, and I make really wild, colorful paintings, and they are extremely healing imagery. It's very uplifting, happy. It's all infused with. Yeah, it's the Reiki. The Reiki just flows through me, that unconditional love when I'm doing these. So this was a really nice way for me to meld the two things of creating something that was helpful and included a lot of the teachings that I like to perpetuate, and that also was visually inspiring. I think also that there's a part of me, because I'm an artist and a musician and a creative, that we're still sort of like, we're not our parents' new age generation, and there's some of wellness that is incredibly homogenized. There's like a whole structure to how people present wellness now too, and it does sort of take the unique aspect out of it, of like the playful, fun evolution that wellness should have, where people, I think part of it is people look at somebody who they feel is successful and unconsciously may just copy some of the tendencies in a way to recreate that. But I really I'm so passionate about this, that like, you will be most successful if you perpetuate just the things that you're into, your own aesthetic, your own shit. Don't follow any formulaic thing, be your own thing and really pull it out from inside of you. And if you feel like you can't do it, definitely don't pull from anybody else, because that's a block for you, like that's something that needs to be broken down, because everybody has a beautiful element of creativity to them if they give themselves the permission to access that. And we need all the forms of creativity. We need all of the visual aids. And so with these cards, this is like my visual aesthetic, and some of that creative energy, that authentic creative energy that lives in me. I wanted to present that with also a healing tool, that maybe felt different to people, maybe more inspiring, more visually inspiring. So there's 31 paintings in the affirmation deck. There's 18 paintings in the mantra deck. And they're just really cute for your altar too, of like the inspiration. And again, when you look at
I'm going to interrupt
Well,
you
when
again.
you look at them, sometimes they look kind of like what are they? The
Rorschach. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's like there's all kinds of symbolism you might see in there that only you would see, you know.
Hold them up. Hold up
Yeah.
one to the. I want to hold them up and show us some. And
Okay, let me find one that I really like.
So the affirmation deck, if there's 31 on the new moon, every month, you could shuffle your deck, and then day by day, just take the next top card off the deck, and that's your daily affirmation. There, I mean, you've got a nice setup there.
So these are all the baby ones too. I mean, there's such big ones up on my. I also sell big guys on my.
Like bigger cards.
No, like real, like the original
like
art.
prints.
Yeah, like actually the
Hold
original
it up.
art.
Keep holding it up. Keep holding it up.
Yeah,
I need it longer. I just feel like when I look at them that I see them animated. Like they are not. They're like. There's so much motion and vibration in them.
We got to make them into GIFs.
Oh my God. We did start this out by saying September will bring animated GIFs.
Did we? Oh, yeah.
I love that one. What is that one? Is that the one of this week?
This is, I don't need to know what will happen next.
I love that. That's, I think, my favorite so far.
That's the cover art.
Oh, too. It is? Awesome.
Yeah. There was a guy that I was talking to who really liked it. So fucking ended up.
I feel like that's such a great affirmation too. Is I don't need to know what happens next, because I know for myself and so many people get hung up and fixated on needing to figure it all out and know what happens next, instead of just following the signs, trusting, taking that action, and showing up and making aligned decisions for yes and no. Like that's the fucking formula.
And if you like the way that I talk, it's the same in my affirmations and my mantra deck. You know, it really is like my voice, my way of explaining things. So if you feel, there are I have Oracle decks. I love them. And I've actually been pulling from my own Oracle deck recently because it's been just really nice to take my own medicine. But, you know, there are just some people that just speak to you in a way where you can feel the information and the energy from it. So, you know, that was my hope too, was that like I could give a tool that could transmit some of my energy when like maybe someone can't afford a session, or they, you know, they need something in between that helps them to tune back into that vibration. So there's that. And also like, you know, my private mentorships are going awesome. I love doing my private mentorships. I have an 8-week course where we work one-on-one weekly to kind of go through a lot of my self-healing mentorship. So a lot of tools, and it's very personalized to each person. And the next November 15th is my next grouping.
Okay. Cool.
Yes. But I'm saying it now because, you know, it will give you time if you need to make payments. It'll give you time to kind of come up with the funds too. So you can be paying into it now to start in the next group set, the next, what do you call it? My next availability. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because I'm finishing up. I only have a few students at a time. I'm finishing up these at the end of this month. Then I'll be traveling. And then November 15th, we'll be starting the next 8-week series. So if this is something that you feel really called to do, and financial stuff is something that you need a little time to work out, this might be the best opportunity. So, yeah. Cool. And you can always contact me for my birth chart readings and my one-on-one energy healings, and in person in New York City on Wednesdays and Thursdays, or via the phone. Otherwise, so yeah.
Cool.
Thanks for letting me promote myself.
All day. And that's all at RebeccaConran.com, right?
That's right. Or Rebecca Conran at Instagram too. Yeah. Yep. And we're on YouTube, guys. So if you want to see our faces and you're just listening to the podcast.
And I know I haven't been on time with that because I've been literally moving across the country and finding a new place to live. So things should be more consistent now with the video, because I've landed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So sorry about that, everyone who went to go look at a few weeks ago.
Well, we did start it during Mercury retrograde, so we kind of knew that there was going to be a little bit of.
Yeah. Here we go. You know, I'm one of those people that needs like a pipeline and a system. Once I got that system, bam, bam, bam. Would you know there's like 6 people who work on Dream Freedom Beauty, so it's not just me here. Yeah, because I can't do that shit. But
I just got the thing that says my phone is about to die.
All right,
so
well then here we go. I'm
gonna give a kiss and a bye.
Goodbye. Au revoir. Take care.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thanks.